Hi everybody, welcome back to DayZ, and in this video we're going to be looking at a new mod that came out over the last couple of days called Automated Turrets by Eugenie N. Now it's early days for this mod, so what I'm going to show you in this video is a brief demonstration of kind of what it's capable of. And how to install it on a local server. Obviously, if you know how to install mods on remote servers, you can have a go at that too. However, I think what we're going to see is over the next couple of days, we're going to see the developer behind the mod introducing some bug fixes, because it's a little bit inconsistent at the moment when it comes to spawning in your own guns. So here we go. So here we've got one of the variants of the turret. This one's set up to shoot zombies. So if we spawn in some zombies. Let's see what it makes pretty short work of them, I tell you. Now it would fire like a machine gun if the zombies would stay alive long enough, but but it just chews them up. I tell you what, let's spawn someone a little bit further away. Let's spawn in some over there. And then if I then fire my gun, hopefully we can attract them to start running in. Can we? Here they come. Right, here we go. It's like something out of Aliens, this, isn't it? There we go. Oh, they're coming in from over there. There we go. So, as you can see, pretty amazing. And right, let's now go into how to install it, how to configure it, and all the other good stuff, because I'm sure you're itching to get your hands on this. So, tell you what, let's just exit out of there. And let's have a look. So obviously, as with all things DayZ, it starts off with the DayZ workshop on Steam, and you'll want to go to Automated Turrets. I'll put a link in the description below this video, and you can subscribe. And then underneath we've got the notes. It's very important with the mod in this early stage that you do keep an eye on this, because it's going to be updating an awful lot. So once you subscribe, that will then download, once you've opened up the DayZ launcher again, to your DayZ folder. And when you want to install it on your local server, just go into the workshop, go into Automated Turrets, copy that, go back to your server, and then you would paste it in there. Then what you need to do is you need to get the key out, so we copy that, we then paste that into the keys on our folder, which I've already done, and then you'll need to edit your batch file to start with that mod. So just copy the title, open up your batch file, so I've already got here, and then in the start line of your batch file add in Automated Turrets. Okay, and then just save, restart your server, and the default Automated Turrets will be there. Now there's some very, very good information that comes with this mod. If you go into the mod and go into info, you've got class names and config explanation. Class names tells you the different types of turrets that will spawn in, and basically there's a turret that stands up like the one you just saw, and there's a turret that hangs down. And for each of those, there's like an M60 version that you just saw there. There's a minigun version, and there's one that's a bit like a 50 cal, almost bigger than a 50 cal, like a cannon that fires. But for all of them, you can configure all of them, and for each of them there's different health levels they'll come with, like 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 hit points or health points, so that if you choose to make them destructible, they'll take different levels of destruction. So that's really cool. But the best file is the config explanation file, and this goes into really good detail. This is excellent stuff by Eugenie. I apologise if I've messed his name up. It tells you exactly what to do. And so basically, if we look at what I've got here, so the first time you run your server with the mod on, what will happen is in your server's config folder, so that might be called profiles, might be called settings, you'll get an automated turrets one, and it will generate a config.json. And if we look at that, so here we see, so this is the custom turret that I've created. So they're within these brackets here. So basically you choose which type of turret you want to spawn in. You choose its position, it's X, Y, and Z. So it's, you know, north, south, east, west, and its altitude. And you can get that in a few ways. The easiest way is probably, I find, to go into DayZ editor, spawn one of the turrets in, position it, and then export as a custom location, custom object spawn JSON, and it tells you exactly that. And then you can rotate it as well. So you put in the position there and the rotation for the top of the turret there. And then we've got the guard radius, so how far out should it be scanning. You can put in what types of bullets it should be firing. So my gun there was firing 5.56 by 45, but you could, you know, it could be firing like Win 308, really deadly stuff. Or it might be better to put in lower powered ammunition. You could put in like 22 ammo, so maybe they'd be firing a lot, but, you know, for example, zombies there would then take a lot more hits, so you get more of an effect to it. However you want to do it. Then you've got the RPM. Now the RPM only really comes into it when the gun is firing at something that's taking damage. You could see with most of those zombies, they're just going down with one shot. But with RPM, we like a brrr, and it would fire. But you could slow that down as well. So again, if you were firing like Win 308, you could turn the fire rate down to, say, I don't know, 30 rounds a minute. So it's only firing once every 2 seconds. And that would be very important, especially if you're using this to defend areas against players, because otherwise this really is a one-shot kill with the bigger calibers. Turret hit chance. So the way that I understand it, the way that these turrets work is it's not a true ballistic weapon. So it's not firing a bullet out like your gun does in DayZ. What it's actually, it's a hit scan weapon. So it's working out whether it's going to hit the target kind of at the same time that it fires. So it doesn't really fire unless it knows it's going to hit. I think that's how it works. I mean, I could be wrong. So again, if you're trying to defend somewhere against players to make it, you know, playable, you might want to turn that right down to like 10% or 25%. Otherwise, when it's on the higher things, honestly, it just kills you, bang, and you're just dead straight away. Especially if you use the next setting, use explosive rounds. Again, it doesn't matter which bullets you put into it, but these will explode with great force like grenades when they hit whatever they hit, and they have an area of effect as well. Then we've got can be destroyed, so, you know, that relates to the health points. Can use idle state. So what this means is the gun, when it's not actually tracking on targets, it will just track backwards and forwards, which I think is pretty cool. And then you've got enable sound. So, you know, will it make that beep noise when it gets locked onto a target? And I think it has like a motor noise. I couldn't quite pick it up. And then we have the targeting system. So you can choose to target players, or players and zombies, or players and animals, or animals and zombies. And in here, you can list things like the different types of zombies it should target, whether it's all of them or specific ones, the types of animals. So it might just be bears, it could just be wolves, the types of players that it could be. So here you can put players' Steam IDs in, and this is where it gets very exciting, because when this mod becomes mature, you'll be able to use these turrets, perhaps, to defend bases in offline mode. Now at the moment, the way that you spawn these turrets in is using the config.json. That's the only way to do it. You can't place them in-game when you're in-game. There's no turret kit at the moment. But when there is a turret kit, you'll be able to place turrets around your base to defend it when you're not there. And these things are deadly, honestly. They are very, very deadly indeed. I'd imagine you'd have to have something like a high-powered sniper rifle to hit them from a distance, you know, so you're outside of that guard radius. But then there's sort of other things you could do as well, isn't it? It really does give us an offline base defending mode if and when that turret kit comes into place. And as the config explanation goes into, you also have a reverse system as well. So you can have targets, so you could put your Steam ID in, for example, but then you reverse it. So you actually say, attack, fire at everybody apart from the Steam ID that is here, and you can do that with the animals as well. So you could put like in I don't know, sheep. You could put in something like goat or something, and then reverse it so it would shoot at all animals apart from goats. Or with zombies, you could put like the police zombie and say shoot at all zombies apart from that one. So it's very, very powerful. This is a really good document, the config explanation really does, and it explains a bit about how actually in terms of performance you're better off having a higher accuracy for the turrets, because then they'll shoot at zombies or shoot at players and kill them very quickly. But if they're on a low accuracy, they're going to keep on trying to work out where the enemies are and keep trying to hit them, and that will have an FPS hit on your server. So really, really top stuff. Very, very excited about where this mod goes. I'm not going to go into details about how to install it on your remote server. I mean, you probably know how to do all this already. I would say play around with it on your local server first, because at the moment the problem I was having was that although I could spawn in one extra turret, when I tried to spawn in more turrets, the whole system would stop working and none of the turrets would spawn in. So I'd imagine there's going to be patches coming in. In fact, by the time you get around to watching this video, there could well be patches to solve that. But a very, very exciting mod. Really looking forward to having an offline mode. Oh, you probably saw in my video I had placed the turret on a couple of roadblock chests, but there is actually in the files, there is this turret base that you can put down as well. That is a little bit better. Now, I wonder if that was the reason why I couldn't spawn them in. Anyway, I don't know. I'm going to be doing a bit more work with it. But go on over to Automated Turrets. Make sure you subscribe to it. Have a play around with your local server. Look out for updates. And I'm sure we're going to be having great fun with this mod before too long. So what do you think? Put your questions in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more, the same, press subscribe. And I will, of course, see you again soon.